All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode 1 of the Miami Dolphins history rebuild. As I mentioned in one of my previous live streams, I was going to start, so this is episode 1 of a rebuild, starting with the Miami Dolphins in the year of 2003, or I should say 2002, going into the 2002-2003 season, taking them up to present time, and trying to redo what they did in history, see if I can do any better. As you see here, we've got our coach, Mr. Ribby. No longer Dave Wonstedt, but Mr. Ribby here to try to bring some history back to the Dolphins at this point. Of course, it had been the 1970s since the getting in winning the Super Bowl. And of course, we had the Dan Marino years. But here we are now in 2002, trying to see what can we do with the Miami Dolphins, because let's just all admit it, they have sucked for the past 18 years. They've made it to the playoffs once with Chad Pennington. So taking a look here, I just want to let you know this is going to be very similar to rebuilds I do on the live stream. Not going to be trying to do so realistic since this is a rewrite of history. So we do have the advantage going into draft after draft, knowing who's coming out, because I do have all the draft classes going to 2020. And so that may mean we got to make some trades and get multiple first-round picks. Try to get as many good people as we can. It may mean taking someone who went as an undrafted free agent actually in the draft, because these draft classes are ranked pretty accurately to how they were in the original draft. So there is a little bit there, some meta gaming, if you want to call it that, with what we're doing here. But that's the luxury we have of rewriting history. Settings-wise, similar to my rebuilds, on all Madden, competitive mode, relocation can happen with everyone. Player progression happens at the end of the season. Everything is manual except for weekly training. Scouting will be manual up to week 3 every season, and then it will switch and become a auto as we simulate. Especially with these, I'm definitely not going to play as often, at least especially right now, because as we look at the team is not very good. So definitely going to be doing a lot of simulating. So here we go. Looking at the team, right off the bat, we do have some studs. I mean, you have Chris Carter. The downside for Chris Carter, he's 36 years old. He's not going to stick around long. He will be here this season, but it's likely he will retire after this year. Ricky Williams, this is back when we had Ricky Williams. He's 25 years old. On his contract, he's on his last year of his contract, so we will have to potentially re-sign him. That would be that would actually be a rewrite right away. Quarterback, we have Jay Fiedler, not a good quarterback. Definitely we got to do what the Dolphins were trying to do right off the bat. We got to get a quarterback in here. Offensive line is horrible. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say horrible. Wade is there, star development, and he's 25 years old, so he's pretty much the only good offensive lineman, because Mark Dixon's 32. So, I mean, we got to fix this right away. Miami drug their feet for so many years not fixing the O-line. We got to do that right away. You got Randy McMichael in his rookie year here. And then, of course, you got Chris Chambers. Chris Chambers, 24 years old, definitely going to be sticking around with the team for a while. Outside of Carter and Chambers, we do not have very good wide receivers, so something there as well. It's just the Miami Dolphins offensively is a complete revamp. We have to get more people. So that's going to be a big focus, is the offense. Because if you look at the defense, it's not that bad. I mean, of course, you got Jason Taylor here on the edge. He's 28. He's going to start regressing after the season, but he can stick around for a while. Defensive tackle are pretty good. We actually might be more suited to switch to a 4-3, because when you look at linebackers, we suck. We got Zach Thomas, but outside of that, we don't have anyone. So it may be one of those things we got to switch to a 4-3 with this team, just because we have Chester and Bowens. But I will say this, the Miami Dolphins at this point in history had an outstanding secondary. You had Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain on the outside. Both are still rather young. Sam Madison's 28, but they both can stick around. And then you got Freeman there at strong safety and Marion at free safety. Like, Marion's 32, so that will be something we got to work on. But they're going into this year, the secondary is outstanding. But I am going to make this change to 4-3. And when you look at the scheme fits, we are primed to be a base 4-3 team. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to change the playbooks because I don't like the Miami playbook. Even though we're going to go base 4-3, that's just for XP. I'm going to be using a 3-4 defense playbook. So it is what it is. We won't. It's for XP reasons because now we have 2 guys down for defensive tackle. And we got, I'm going to butcher this, Ogunle on the outside now with Jason Taylor. So, yeah, right off the bat, this team, not good. I'm going to look in free agency. Deion Sanders at this point was a free agent. I'm not going to sign him. Like, I know I said that we're not trying to make this realistic, but I don't need a cornerback. Sean Draper, though, would be a good pickup because he's a 70 overall. We have the cap space. And it's a 1-year rental. Outside of that, I'm going to look at some trades I could potentially do. All right, I looked around at some trades, and there's just nobody there. Like, so we're just going to have to go through this. Similar to how I handle my live streams, will be simulating through the preseason. Oh, I forgot to do that. One last change on settings. Injury needs to be turned off because just like in the live streams, injuries make it to where the team doesn't really perform to their best. So, because the logic in injuries doesn't make any sense in this game. But yeah, I'm going to be simulating through the preseason. I'm just going to simulate to last week, so that way I can cut some players and cut the players I want to cut, and people that I want to keep don't get cut by the AI of the computer. I mean, the AI of the game. Oh, there's nobody worth getting. I don't know why I'm looking at that. Okay, so I got to cut 3 guys, and that gets us ready for the season. All right, so right off the bat here, we're going to simulate to week 3, bring in the draft class for the year. We do get a win the first week, so that's impressive. Mr. Ribby jumping in right away, getting a win for the Miami Dolphins. And losing to the Colts then. The Colts do have Peyton Manning, so that shouldn't be surprising. All right, so we're going to bring in the 2003 draft class. Unfortunately, I do have to download each of these rather than importing them because it crashes the game every time I try to import a draft class with the mod that's running. So I got to download those. So as we look here right off the bat, Carson Palmer is the quarterback in this draft class. I will scout him, but we all know Palmer wasn't the greatest. So, and he's 23 years old, so definitely not someone I'm like super interested in. Yeah, Andre Johnson in this draft class, Terrence Newman, Kevin Williams, great person in this one, Terrell Suggs, Marcus Trufant, great pickup potential. Troy Polamalu is in this draft class, Calvin Pace, Rex Grossman, Dallas Clark, Willis McGahee. There's a lot of guys in this draft class, so definitely some things that could help out the team when we look ahead to the draft. Don't know if this is a draft, though. I'd want to trade people away to get a lot of first-rounders. But yeah, so I'm going to change the settings. So we make scouting auto. And I will see you guys at the mid-season break. All right, at the mid-season break, we have someone that's up for a breakout player. That is Chris Chambers. It's very tempting to jump in to do that, but I'm not going to. So after this, we're simming to the playoffs. So coming out of the bye, we are 4-3. Not too hateful. Guys who are ready to negotiate. We got Chris Carter. Again, he's going to want way too much money to bring him back, being 36 years old. Tim Bowens, 29. Not really sure if I'm interested in that, but Ricky Williams, we'd bring him back on a 5-year contract, up it a little bit, and he resigns. Rob Conrad, our fullback, we will try to bring him back. Outside of that, There's not a lot of the guys here that I'm like, ooh, I really want to bring back. Probably Sean Draper, just because he's good depth at our right tackle position. He wants way too much money for being a backup right tackle. So we're going to just take this down a little bit. And he might say no, and he did. So we'll let him walk when it comes to the end of the season. But yeah, we're 4-3, so we'll see you guys at the playoffs. All right, so it does look like in our first season we did not make the playoffs. No surprise there. Let's look at the team, though. Look at some stats. We are at a 77 overall team, 75 offense, 81 defense. Looking at the lineup, everyone's still at the same development trait. Randy McMichael is a star development. On defense, again, everyone's at the same development trait. So, curious to see how the defense actually played since they are supposed to be better. We ended up going 9-7. Just looks like we barely missed the playoffs. The Jets went 12-4. So first year, so the Patriots do have Tom Brady, and they went 7-9. We did better than the Patriots. We just missed out on the playoffs. Jaguars beat us in the tiebreaker. So that's crazy. Did not expect to see that. It has to be the defense, though. Wow, our offense was actually 7th. How is our offense 7th in the NFL? Our defense was 6th. That's surprising we didn't make the playoffs then. Let's look, though. Wow, this is a big reason why. Jay Fiedler, again, he is not a good quarterback, but somehow throws for around 4,400 yards and 32 touchdowns, but 15 picks. That number there is a big reason why we struggled. Rushing, Ricky Williams had almost 1,000 yards, but he only had 4 touchdowns, so not a good year for him, being a contract year. Chris Carter, almost 1,000 yards. We had 3 guys in over 900 yards. This Oronde Gadsden, who he's going to stay on the team because he has a cap penalty, but he's not that great, even though his numbers say otherwise. But Randy McMichael, first year as a rookie, 9 touchdowns and 900 yards. Really good year for him. Chris Chambers, 7 touchdowns, 746 yards. So overall, our offense, pretty good. Defensively, Zach Thomas had over 100 tackles. Like to see that. Tackles for loss, 4 guys in double digits. Tim Bowens, Zach Thomas, Agunlai, and Jason Taylor. Sack-wise, he had 13.5 sacks from Jason Taylor, 8 from Agunlai. Agunlai, I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. Interceptions, 7 picks from Sam Madison. That is insane. 3 from Arturo Freeman, 3 from Surtain. Wow, Sam Madison, one of those that he did take back for a TD. I'm curious, what is the record for interceptions in a season? Okay, nowhere near that. That is one thing. I was like, that is really high, but back in my head, I was wondering, because it's the simulation for interceptions. You never see anyone get double digits for simulation. So looking at the awards for the year, Brett Favre wins the MVP. Randall Cunningham right behind him. We'll give you a heads up. Some of the players you're going to see here that actually have pictures. Some of them might be wrong. Just a heads up there. Peyton Manning made the list. There are no Dolphins in the MVP race. AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Trent Green. Jay Fiedler does get into the list. Defensive Player of the Year, London Fletcher. Zach Thomas, Sam Madison both make the list. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Fred Taylor. No Dolphins. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Ted Johnson. No Dolphins. Best quarterback goes to Chad Pennington. Jay Fiedler on the list. Best running back goes to Edgar and James. No Dolphins. Best wide receiver goes to Troy Brown. Gadsden makes the list. Offensive lineman goes to Allen Faneca. No Dolphins on that list. Defensively, Marcus Stroud wins the defensive best D lineman. Jason Taylor on the list. So is Ugunlai. Totally butchering that. Best linebacker, London Fletcher. Zach Thomas does make the list. Best defensive back, of course, Sam Madison. he has a very high chance of moving up to X Factor now, which would be legitimate. So that is the season. Just missed the playoffs, so a good first year. Again, not what I expected, because that puts us for draft pick wise. We have pick 17. So we definitely aren't going to get Carson Palmer, which I wasn't really interested in anyways. But we're not going to get any of the top tier players either. Do need to spend some of that coach XP. So we are going to spend that on offensive line, linebackers, defensive line, defensive backs. Get a boost there for some XP. And I'll see you guys at the Super Bowl. All right, so we're at Super Bowl. It's the Jets and the 49ers. Definitely, we're already rewriting history at Super Bowl 37 because that is not who was there. Looking at the lineup, looks like on offense, I think Jay Fiedler did go up. Yes, he did move up to star development. Jay Fiedler is 32 years old, so definitely he'll be sticking around for this year because we're not going to get a quarterback to take his place. But definitely still unexpected how he did this season. On the defense, oh, that's bull. Sam Madison did not go up to X Factor. That's really disappointing. With winning DB of the year, and he was the NFL interceptions leader, he doesn't advance. But Zach Thomas does go up to Superstar, and he didn't even win anything. So how does he go up to Superstar when he didn't win any awards? And Sam Madison does not develop at all. That doesn't make any sense. Don't know why Jason Taylor was behind Williams there, but odd. So, yeah. That is the end of the first season. So going into the off season, we have some guys you might need to look into potentially bringing back. I don't think I will be. Chris Carter does retire. Tim Bowen's still there at 30. Hey, that's too big of a cap hit. We'll see who's available in free agency. Don't really have high hopes of there being anyone in free agency, but we'll see. All right, so now looking at free agents, we got Al Wilson, middle linebacker. He would be a good addition to partner with Zach Thomas. I may have to consider that, because he is definitely the best player available in free agency, and we have the cap space. So 4-year contract seems about right. We'll bump up the salary and signing bonus a little, make them an offer. 99, we'll have to offer him a little bit more because you do have to get a few more points higher than the team behind you for him to guarantee potentially take your offer. Outside of that, we don't need a kicker. You got Luke Pettigoat. Would be a good addition to our offensive line, 27 years old. Again, we have some cap space. Ooh, but not that much cap space. We'll let him go. Got Sam Adams we could bring in, who's 30, like Tim Bowens. Not really worth it in my opinion. Robert Griffith, not going to bring him in. You got Wayne Gandy. He's 32. Anybody we bring in at this point this low on the offensive line is just a stopping gap until we can get some younger guys. So I actually will offer a deal to Todd Stuzzi. Not going to do it this week, though. I'll wait till week 3 when I can lowball him if he's not being offered anything else. But for now, let's see if we get the middle linebacker. And we do get Wilson. Great addition to partner with Zach Thomas. Does allow us to go back to the 3-4. Especially because now we don't have that great of defensive tackles, so being in a 3-4 is the better move. So we are going to change our scheme back to a 3-4. Oh. Be a 3-4 under. All right. We're going to just advance another week, so I'm just looking to lowball people. So no reason to actually go into the free agents right here. Do have 5th-year option here for Arturo Freeman. Definitely will bring him back on the 5th-year option. I don't believe the 5th-year option existed back then. I might be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Yeah, let's see who I could lowball here. We don't need a quarterback. Jake Delhomme's there. James Stewart's available at running back. Not really looking to draft any of those guys. Looking here, we've got Todd Stuzzi is being offered something from the Panthers. Not going to go after him. Ethan Albright's too low of an overall to even justify that. No one at guard, no one at center or right guard. Von Parker's being offered something. Yeah, we're kind of stuck with who we have at offensive line then right now. No one at left end. No linebackers worth bringing in. No corners worth bringing in. Before we go to the draft, well, I thought about trading, but I just can't find anyone to do a trade. So I got to stick with what I have, with the pick that I have. And we're going to see what happens. See how the NFL changes right off the bat. So I will pause here. We're going to look at the draft board. Andre Johnson definitely going on my draft board. Terrence Newman, Jordan Gross, Kevin Williams, Terrell Suggs, Marcus Trufant, Polamalu, Calvin Pace, George Foster, Jeff Fain, Dallas Clark, Larry Johnson. Wouldn't be a guy to have, but I don't really need him. Kwame Harris, Asamoah for sure, Eric Steinbeck for sure, Charles Tillman, John Stinchcomb, Rashawn Mathis. Basically anyone who has a first round value, I'm going to try to grab because hopefully they'll be available later. At this point, I'm just going to go by position. Because, yeah, at quarterback, I know there's not going to be anybody worth grabbing. Maybe Tony Romo. Running back, yeah, there's no one at running back I'm interested in. Wide receiver, Anquan Bolden would be worth grabbing. David Tyree's in this draft class. Jason Witten definitely would be worth the pickup. Left tackle. Don't think any of those guys are. No one here I'm interested in. Dan Coppin for sure I would be willing to grab. At right guard, David Deal for sure. Right tackle. Got a lot of good right tackles there. Wade Smith even would be someone worth looking for. At left end, you got Corey Redding, definitely someone later on to look at. Right end, of course, Calvin Pace. Defensive tackle, William Joseph for sure. Left outside linebacker, out of T-Suggs. I mean, Hunter Hillenmeyer isn't a horrible guy to get. Middle linebacker, E.J. Henderson would be a good person to grab. Outside of that, not really anybody. Right outside linebacker, of course, you got Lance Briggs. But no one else. At corner, this is when there's so much depth at corner. Because Asante Samuel for sure would be someone to grab. Terrence McGee would be someone to grab. Looking here at the rest. No one there. Free safety. There wasn't like a stud free safety in this draft class, so not really worried about that. Polamalu for sure, best strong safety. Mike Doss would be a good one to grab. Jeremiah Bell's good, really good value pick. So outside of that, actually, none of the kickers that are really awesome are in there, or punters. Not worried about that. So let's see who the Cardinals take. Of course, Carson Palmer went to the Bengals in real life. Charles Rogers is the first pick in the draft, going to the Arizona Cardinals. Buffalo Bills select Andre Johnson. So instead of being with the Texans, Andre Johnson goes to the Bills. The Bears take Carson Palmer. So Carson Palmer is not a Bengal Tiger. He is now a Bear. Texans take Dwayne Robertson. Ravens take Jordan Gross. I thought I had pick 17, but apparently I have pick 20, so that's kind of stinks because I didn't make the playoffs, but somehow my pick changed after all of that. Falcons take Terrell Suggs. Big change there. Browns take Kevin Williams. Good pick for the Browns. Buccaneers take Marcus Trufant. Seahawks take Ty Warren. Patriots take Terrence Newman. Good pick there. Polamalu is not a Steeler. He goes to the Washington team. Rams take Calvin Pace. Falcons take Michael Haynes. Jimmy Kennedy going to the Lions. Jeff Fain going to the Tennessee Titans. The Giants take William Joseph. Cincinnati Bengals, instead of getting Carson Palmer, get George Foster, right tackle out of Georgia. Denver Broncos select Kwame Harris. And the Oakland Raiders, because they are the Oakland Raiders at this point, take Dallas Clark. So Dallas Clark is not an Indianapolis Colt. He goes to the Raiders. So draft pick wise, no one's offering to trade up to my pick from the first rounder, so definitely picking someone here. And when you look at who's available, I mean, Eric Steinbach would be a good pick. Asamoah would be an excellent pick. You basically gotta look at value here, and being at pick 20, if any of these guys said early first rounder, I would have to take them. So looking at this, I mean, Rashawn Mathis looks like the best pick. Actually, Asamoah looks like the best pick, just from a combine standpoint. And he would be great to put in there to have with Sam Madison and Surtain. Like I said, we need to rebuild the O-line, but there's some other O-linemen that are available later. And Asamoah is going to be able to jump in and play in the nickel right off the bat and be one of the best and be an excellent person to add to the secondary. So I got to take him. Did reach a little bit. He's valued at 22. I took him at 20. But I'll take that. So I'm going to go advance to our next pick, see who's still available. Lance Briggs made it all the way to the second round and got taken right before my pick. I totally would have taken Lance Briggs at that point. See who's available for my draft board still. A lot of guys still available. Ooh, David Deal for sure is the pick here. Overall, number 13, took him at 52. Great pick for us out for our O-line. Third round pick. See who's still available. Dan Coppin's available. That's the pick. I gotta take him. Like, this is helping our O-line. Ranked number 34 in value, took him at 84. Already, this is a vast improvement on our O-line. I am a little concerned because I am looking at who's still available on my draft board. And I know I took Asamoah, but Asante Samuel would be a great addition as well. And I don't think he'll actually make it to the end of the fourth round. So I'm going to go a few picks here because I think he will make it to the fourth round. I just don't think he'll make it to my pick in the fourth round. So if I could trade... Oh, and the Jets take him. The Jets took Asante Samuel at the last pick of the third round. A 74 overall player. Well, we'll just advance to my pick now. Stinks we got to go against him now every year. See who is available. I think it may be time. Jay Fiedler is not the answer. And we know Tony Romo's good. He's serviceable, I guess I should say. So I'm going to take Tony Romo. He's ranked 28 in the class. Took him at 116. So definitely comes in. Will be our starting quarterback. Make our next pick. Jeremiah Bell, I actually don't know what his value is, but I think he's worth taking, maybe. We'll see who else is available from who I scouted. Jeremy Bridges wouldn't be a bad pick. Let's see who. He is the best value there. I think that's who I'm going to take, helping out our O-line. He was a 75th overall value. Took him at whatever pick this is. Let's go to the 6th round. And Jeremiah Bell is now gone. May just look at trading away this pick, because I don't think there's really going to be anybody else I'm interested in. Actually, I'm going to take David Tyree, because we do need a wide receiver. Ranked number 171, took him at 180. Good depth for us. Go to our last pick. And looks like from who is available, unless there's someone down here all the way at the bottom, I'm going to take Quentin McKell, I think. Or actually, I'm going to take Fred Jackson, because we do need someone to back up Ricky Williams. Ranked number 120, took him at 212. Go to the end of the draft, and let's take a look at where we stand. All right, it's not a horrible draft by any means. Took care of some positions of need. Also got some good players that can jump in. When you look at the whole draft class, best player was Troy Polamalu. I would have totally taken him if I if he was there at 20, but there's no way he's going to make it there. Jason Witten, kind of forgot about him. Could have taken him with my second pick. Wouldn't have been bad. 75 overall. He's with the Saints, though, instead of the Cowboys. Asante Samuel. Should have traded up and taken you. That one might come back to bite me. So looking at the team now, let's generate the best lineup. It will not be Jay Fiedler. It will definitely be Tony Romo. Will be our starter now. Fred Jackson will be the backup. Our O-line, though, looking younger for sure, and should improve. So that's good. Defensively, Asamoah will jump into the slot right off the bat. Defense still looking pretty good outside of outside linebacker. Outside linebacker is still struggling. And yeah, Tyree will go into the slot position. Asamoah is going to play slot corner. But yeah, let's go into season 2. Again, not going to simulate past the last week of the preseason, making sure that Madden does not cut people I want to keep. And you guys might be wondering what the heck I'm talking about with that. That's because I saw someone else's rebuild, and they were doing the Tennessee Titans, and Ryan Tannehill was just lighting it up, but he was getting a lot older. And they went into another season thinking they were going to use Tannehill, and the computer cut him because of his age, even though he was still the best quarterback on the team. So that really sucked to see that happen for him, and I don't want that to happen on my rebuilds. All right, we are in week 3. Got to bring in the 2004 draft class. So in this draft class is when you have Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers. And Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald, definitely probably the best player in the draft class. You got Sean Taylor and Kellen Winslow. D'Angelo Hall. You had Big Ben Roethlisberger in this draft class. Jonathan Vilma, great middle linebacker. So I'll go into the league settings again. Turn scouting back on. And we are 1-1. and I will see you at the mid-season break. All right, at the break, we are 3-4. Not the best start to the season. And we have a few guys who are wanting to negotiate contracts. Todd Wade being one of them. So we definitely want to bring him back. We'll give him a 4-year contract. Not going to up it at all. He re-signs, so that helps our O-line. We will not be bringing back Fiedler since we just took Tony Romo in the last draft. The rest of these guys I'll probably let go. We'll take a look again at the end of the season. Really quick look at the lineup. Tony Romo has Superstar X Factor. Oh my gosh. Took him when he was classified as undrafted. He has freight train ability. Kind of stinks for being a quarterback to have that, but I mean, that's where I'm not looking at keeping Romo long term. It's just he's better than Fiedler. Let's just put it that way. David Deal is a superstar, though. That's great for our O-line. Awesome pick there. Don't know what Fred Jackson or David Tyree are yet. Awesome Law is a superstar development, so that ends up being a great pick for us. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the playoffs, and I will see you there. So here we are at the playoffs, and we missed out on them again. So far we are reliving a little bit of at least the records of the, well, not the records, but the standings of the Dolphins. Let me spin some Coach XP here really quick. We'll do the quarterback training boost there now. And we went 7-9, so we went back to. Not a good look there. Eagles with the best record. Titans right behind them. But I think wow, the Patriots went 6-10. History being rewritten a little bit there already. When we look at stats for this year, offensively we took a big tumble from when we had Fiedler starting. Defensively, also a little worse as well, so that's not fun. Looking at stats, Tony Romo in his first year threw for 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Was sacked 37 times, not that great. Rushing, Ricky Williams did not break 1,000 yards, but he did have 6 touchdowns this year, so an improvement in touchdown category at least. Fred Jackson, his rookie year, 118 yards and 1 TD. Receiving, Chris Chambers did decent, 783 yards, 4 touchdowns. David Tyree with 10 TDs in his rookie year. Outside of that, nothing fantastic. Defensively, Zach Thomas shows up again with over 100 tackles. Excuse me there. Tackles for loss, 11 from Ugunlai. I'm still going to butcher that. Sack-wise, though, Jason Taylor with 18 sacks, 10.5 from Ugunlai. I'm going to, yeah. Interceptions, 5 from Sam Madison, 3 for Sertan, 1 from Freeman, 1 from Marion. Outside of that, no other interceptions. Sad to see, since Asamoah did only allow 33 catches, had 2 deflections. So, would have liked to see some picks for him. Awards for the year. Yearly awards. Peyton Manning was the MVP, going 9-6-1. Carson Palmer with the Bears, rookie year, 12-4. Definitely rookie of the year right there, numbers. No Lions, of course, in the MVP race. And Lions, I mean no Dolphins. AFC. I have Lions on the brain because I did a rebuild for the Lions yesterday. So, it gives you some idea of when I'm recording this. Peyton Manning best is Offensive Player of the Year. No Dolphins. Defensive Player of the Year is Earl Holmes. Jason Taylor does make the list. Offensive Rookie of the Year actually used Tony Romo for AFC. For sure, in the NFC, it will be Carson Palmer. David Tyree did make the list. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Tino Isama. And E.J. Henderson and Lance Briggs. And Asante Samuel, of course, the Jets, who went 10-5-1. No Dolphins. Best quarterback goes to Peyton Manning. No Dolphins. Best running back goes to Edgar and James. No Dolphins. Best wide receiver goes to Marvin Harrison. No Dolphins. Best offensive lineman, Kevin Maway. No Dolphins. Jason Taylor gets best defensive lineman, and Ogunleye does make it onto the list. Best linebacker, no Dolphins. Best defensive back, Chris McAllister, Sam Madison, number 2. Patrick Surtain, also on the list. So that is our second season. Gonna go to the Super Bowl. See who is there. So looking at Super Bowl, it's a Bears-Titans Super Bowl. So it's Carson Palmer in his rookie year getting the Bears to the Super Bowl, something he never accomplished in real life with the Cincinnati Bengals. Tony Romo will now be up to 77. That might be with a morale boost, though. Chris Chambers now at 78. But yeah, Tony Romo is a 77. No morale boost. No other changes from the offense. Fred Jackson ends up being a star development. And Coppin is a star development. And David Tyree is as well. Defensively, nobody developed to a better development trait. Everyone's still the same. And yeah, so no really big changes on the team going ahead, unfortunately. Looking at our draft pick, it says we have pick number 12. We'll see if that sticks. That's a pretty decent pick for this draft. Maybe worth to trade someone away to get some more draft picks. But that is our second season. That will be the end of our first episode of this series. Stay tuned. I will likely do another episode later this week. I'm going to try to do 2 episodes a week. Most likely will come out, might come out Tuesdays and Thursdays. May try that, but stay tuned. That could change. Because we'll see if I even get this one out on Tuesday. But yeah, like I said, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for tuning in. And let me know what your thoughts are of this, of what you'd like to see done differently, or what you like. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And also, if you want to support us on Patreon, shout out to our one patron, E-Man. Thanks for supporting us. But yeah, check us out on Patreon. We have a Facebook page as well. Check out the rest of our channel. We do a lot of different things. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.